Here we are, back again. Back where it all started, right here on Elmton Road.
A place steeped with over 100 years of history, built back in 1907 as a bank for the pit village of Cresswell.
It's been a while, hasn't it? And a lot has changed. First of all, the room's finished. The last time we were here, it was a mess. There was work being done. Building was upside down. But that's not what this story's about. So we're gonna have to go back right to the very beginning, refresh your memories, and let's try and catch up for anybody who's just joined us.
Our investigation started in July 2024 after reports of the building being haunted by volunteers at Crags Radio. I started my investigations by setting up some cameras that would film equipment in certain areas of the building overnight while nobody else was in the building. We did have equipment going off, but nothing concrete, so I took the investigation further and went and did a live on TikTok. The live brought up a few names through a device called the Alice Box, few names that had previously turned up a few years prior in a separate investigation by a local ghost hunting team. The name Tom was particularly interesting and will be something that you hear more of throughout the rest of this investigation. I decided to head to my local library in Cresswell to find any history on the building on Elmton Road. Ran dry though, but I did head over to the churchyard just over the road from the media centre and found the only gravestone with the name Tom on it. After running dry on information, I decided to invest in more equipment to hopefully capture something a little bit more substantial. Again, I set cameras up to record overnight while nobody else was in the building, this time with the Alice Box, which did react, and then I captured this, a shadow. I still can't figure out what it was or what would have caused it. I'm a skeptic, but I'm trying to figure out the science behind this, and I just can't. Next time round, I invited Beck to join me on a live ghost hunt. Again, shadows were captured on cameras set up with night vision. These particular shadows appeared when we were saying or speaking like we were feeling a little bit upset. This particular investigation was a strange one because for the first time we'd felt, or I at least felt, something was quite unusual, something a bit strange or a bit darker might have been with us. And that was represented in the Alice Box and some of the names and words that were coming out. Of course, equipment was reacting, particularly this EMF meter. The name Rosaline also came up, which is a name that's appeared a couple of times before. And new devices that measure magnetic fields and vibrations were also reacting when nobody else was in the room. But we ended things on a bit of a cliffhanger. Something that was under our nose all the time, right from the very beginning. During our first live investigation, the same night the word Tom came through the Alice Box.
Tom.
There were a few other words which at the time didn't feel relevant. However, now looking back, they've been staring us in the face from the beginning.
Do you know what the year is? Do you know where you are?
The gravestone I found with the name Tom on, whose surname also just happened to be Palmer, did die in December.
It's been thrilling, it's been mind-bending, and it's also raised more questions than it has answers. So how do we get answers? How do we get grasp on the truth? I spent months lost, not knowing what to do next, not knowing how we move the investigation forward. You've been there, you've volunteered, you've given your time, you've done your research. But how do we bring all of that to fruition and confirm what we're finding here at 20 Elmton Road? So the question is, how do we move forward? What do we do next? Can we find the answers that we've been looking for? And I firmly believe we can.
Determined to bring somebody else on board who could perhaps give us a new perspective on our investigation, with the aim of hopefully securing some further details about the ghosts perhaps haunting 20 Elmton Road. This is Wendy Lindsay, a psychic medium, who came into this investigation completely blind. What she's about to reveal will flip this investigation completely in a whole new direction.
And perhaps that's what you needed, because he kept saying, you need to ask. You need to ask. Okay, thank you.
I genuinely don't know what to ask. For the first time, I feel like I didn't expect this to turn on to me. It's caught me a bit off guard.